This is my literal guarantee that if you follow this video through the end and you run that experiment that I'm gonna show you, you will have at least 100 new followers in less than 5 days. So if you're someone who's trying to grow on Instagram, you're starting a new page or you're not growing on Instagram, this is the exact video that I'm gonna share with you, where I'll teach you step by step on how to get your first 100 followers guaranteed if you follow this advice through in the next 5 days. So keep watching. I literally am creating this video in my PJs. I've just run an experiment with my students, the same experiment that I keep running over and over again on my Instagram to gain followers, and I'm going to show you step by step. But you have to promise that you watch this video till the end and follow through my advice. Don't use your brain when you do that. I'm going to give you the exact hooks. I'm going to give you the exact kind of videos you need to create. And if you follow that, I guarantee you will have at least 100 new followers in the next 5 days. And when you do, come back and comment that you did, and I will see you there. Make sure you subscribe. And now let's begin. The number one thing you have to do to get more followers is to not use your brain. I know this sounds really stupid, but you cannot use your brain, and here's what I mean by that. If you create content that you want to create because you feel like you want to create that content, go ahead, do that. But then have that enough space that if you don't succeed and you don't get followers, it's on you. I need to give you this tough love because a lot of creators on social media are creating content because they feel like they want to create that type of content, and that is not the type of content that goes viral. The type of content that goes viral is the kind of content that people want to watch. So you really have to put your audience first. You cannot post some random content out there because you want it to. After you get some followers, after you get some impact and you get some numbers, maybe any kind of content that you post out there works for you. But in that moment, you have already, through the process, subconsciously understood the kind of content that goes viral, and you feel like you want to kind of create the content that you're right now creating. It's very raw, unhinged, but because you have trained your brain to work exactly what social media wants. And that's why you're getting viral over and over again after a while. But if you're someone who's just starting out, you will only go viral if you follow this basic advice to not use your brain. And here's what I mean. Number one reason that people are not able to grow on social media is they don't understand their audience. And I understand. It's technical. It's not easy for you to figure out your audience just like that. It takes a while for you to understand your audience or the kind of content that will go viral for you. I'll give you an example. I've been running this experiment with one of my students who was stuck at less than 100 views and just 70 followers for over a year. I was trying to get her to understand the Instagram algorithm, but it didn't work. And then I took over on Instagram. And in less than 3 days, her videos crossed 10k plus views, and she's currently at 200 plus followers. That all happened because I used this one simple trick that I use over and over and over again if I really want to go viral with my videos. And that is to not reinvent the wheel. If you're trying to grow on social media, it is absolutely essential to understand the kind of people who are on social media. And the kind of people who are on social media are people who want entertainment and people who want the scoop from you. I'll give you my student's example that I'm referring to. She wanted to create content on de-stressing, on stress management, right? And that is, if you think about it, a very viral and profitable topic, because who doesn't have stress right now? 20-year-old are complaining of stress, which means it is viral, it is profitable. So what happened that she was not able to do that? The simple reason is this is so vague. This has no personal testimony. If you come here on social media and talk about stress management, who's going to listen? This has no personal testimony. You have no testimony on your page that you are managing stress. All you're doing is showing your daily life in a very aspirational way, like you don't have any stress. People don't want to see that. People want to see that when they talk about stress, you understand them because you've been through that. People want to see the inside scoop of your life. So she kept saying to me on the calls that I want to work on stress management and the resources I want to create, because I'm a digital product coach. I've created multiple 6 figures with digital products, and I teach people how to monetize their content with digital products in their own niches. She said, I want to create products in my own niche, which is stress management. Now, here's the problem. Before you start selling products that are in your own niche, you need to sell content, which means you need to sell your story in your own niche. So if you're around stress management, you cannot just come here and talk about stress management resources when your personal testimony doesn't align with that. And that is exactly what was happening. In the last 5 days, I have literally done less than 10 minutes of work on her account, and she's been able to have massive success, multiple 5 figures, 10K plus views on multiple videos and 200 plus followers because she followed this one simple advice. When you are talking about a stress-free life, or any life for that matter, any niche that you're picking, it's not just your stress-free life. It depends where you're talking about. The location matters. You matter. Your gender may matter. Your language may matter. Your real story matters. So if you don't have the visibility, there's no point creating resources because no one will buy, because no one knows about them. So the number one thing to crack on social media, if you're trying to sell digital products, if you're trying to sell your content services, if you're trying to be into brand partnerships and UGC marketing, is to be visible to the right people. If you're trying to sell social media content to brands, you need to be visible to brands. If you're trying to sell products to beginners, to customers, to audiences on social media, people on social media, you need to be visible to them. So you essentially don't need to go viral, but you have to have some visibility out there, right? Now, being stuck at 75 followers for a year is not visibility, right? So this is what we did. When my student talked about stress management, we got into a little more detail. Stress where? Stress how? Why did we think about stress? Why did we think about this niche? And she got to talking and she explained she lives in the UK. She moved from India. She moved as a wife. She works in the UK now. It's very different from what work looked like back in India. So to get her more visibility, we started talking about her life in the UK. Once she gets more visibility of her life in the UK, she can go ahead and start talking about stress management in her life in the UK. You get the visibility, you start talking about your topics, and then you eventually start creating products that your audience wants, because now your audience is aware of you, plus the kind of niche you're in, plus the product that you will eventually create, and then they will go ahead and buy it. So if you want visibility, that is the first step to eventually sell your own digital product or just be a content creator that people want to watch. You need to crack this one thing. Why are you picking the niche that you're picking? Where are you based? Have you transitioned from anywhere, or have you transitioned in life from any point in life, either the location or situation? And then use these three and milk these three. I know this is going to be brutal advice. I'm trying to be brutally honest because I really want to see those first 100 followers in you. So if you are someone who is an Indian who's moved to the UK, use it in your content. If you're someone who's an American who's moved to Australia, use it in your content. People want to see testimonies, people want to see transformations, and people want to see transitions, whether it is from situations or locations. Use that. Here's what we did with my student. She moved from India to the UK, so we started creating content on life in the UK. But not just any life in the UK, life based in her situation. For example, life in the UK as an Indian girlie. Life in the UK as an Indian developer, she's an IT developer, as an Indian developer in the UK. Life, how is life different in the UK as a woman, in India as a woman? How is healthcare different in the UK? How is fitness different in the UK? How are UK people in general, British, are different from Indians? Simple, something that is viral and something that people want to watch, let's be honest. People want to watch transitions, transformations. People want to watch comparisons. You don't have to be rude about it, but you can be honest about it. If I'm someone who's moved from India to Australia, I definitely see there are so many differences. How some things in Australia are different from India. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm bashing Australia or I'm bashing India. It's just my observation that I want to share with people. And if people are watching, it's working. So here's what you're going to find out what's working for you. You're going to go to Instagram and you're going to type life in whatever region you are in, or the transformation that you want to share with people, the visibility factor that will get you the views. So if you're someone, let's say you're starting a fitness journey and you want to type weight loss, instead of typing weight loss, type women weight loss, type teenager weight loss, type Gen Z weight loss. Make it very, very specific. Type it in the Instagram bio and then look at the most viral videos that have millions and millions of views. Literally steal that hook. I'm literally not kidding. You don't even have to reinvent that whole hook. You just have to manipulate it in your own context. Steal that hook and then use your own story within it. For example, there is a very viral hook in my students' videos context that is very viral. Things I wish I knew before I moved to the UK. We literally took that hook and we gave it a whole spin from our end. We gave it our own story. So we did not copy paste the entire video, but we literally took that hook. And these are the type of hooks that are called evergreen hooks. They work in multiple niches and they will always go viral because there is always demand of this type of content. Some of the examples of evergreen hook are: in 2023 I was X, in 2024 I was this, and then there's a whole video. Some of the viral hooks that are evergreen are: if you want to get started with this is something that you should not do. One of the other example is: I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't need X to do X. Evergreen hooks work in every single niche. Literally type this hook in the search bar of Instagram. If you find viral videos in your own niche, take that hook, manipulate that hook, copy paste that text hook, give it your own spin, and you are bound to get more visibility in the next 5 days. Trust me when I'm saying this, as a creator, as a content creator, as a full-time content creator who has made multiple sales of digital product, multiple 6 figures, and who runs her own coaching community where I teach my students all of these techniques. Let me tell you, you don't have to reinvent the wheel to crack the code to Instagram. You have to play around what's working, manipulate it in a smarter way, and there you go. You will have the results that you want. If you have any questions, comment in the comment section below. Subscribe for more such updates and raw, unfiltered advice on social media growth. I'll see you in the next one.